We met because you watch my episodes.
Yeah, big fan.
Thanks for saying that.
خسرنا a lot of part of from our roots. مش هي الحياة اللي بدي إياها، الحياة اللي بدي إياها هي from nature. Who knows about them? ما حدا.
Which sounds a bit too romantic for me.
So he said, try this before the gym and tell me how it goes.
Immediate thought was, are you doing something that's unhealthy?
Randy tells me, Shu, you're still there? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you gave me. What's this?
You're being extra cautious for the queen to be comfortable.
دخان ممنوع الدخين. يعني اللي بيدخنوا tips number 1 هي good branding. تنعقص تقول معلش immune system بيقوى أكتر. تعال قال لهم خدوا شيء أورجانيك. وقف شو هيدا؟
Hoda Rizk Randy Chartouni, welcome to MTV.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Oh, you guys speak at the same time too. That's great. You know, I think this episode is special for many reasons. I'll list a few. The first is we met by accident. We met because you watch my episodes.
Yeah,
I'm
a big fan.
Thanks for saying that. And you kind of got my attention, invited me to sit with you and your lovely girlfriend, Hoda Rizk. And just within a few minutes, we were talking about, in a way, a subject that I never thought I would discuss on a podcast. It's a subject that I don't know anything about. And then I realized you guys are experts in this. So before we get to the subject, the second reason it's special is because it didn't occur to me until this morning. You're the first couple I've had on the podcast that's not married.
Yet.
So the pressure is on now to commit for life because this episode will live forever.
Oh my.
That's why it's special for me. And, of course, the subject. The subject, which I think brings people together in an unusual way. Beekeeping.
Yeah.
Now, Randy, I think it's safe to say you're the expert. You have the background knowledge. You have the history. Hoda, you're new to beekeeping.
Yes.
But you have marketing under your belt, which is why you guys are, in a way, a power couple. You have a company that's dedicated to pollen, which I think is something that we don't talk about enough, the benefits of pollen. So I'd like to get into all of that, including your brand, Poppin Pollen. Yeah, so we're going to get into that. But first, let's start with beekeeping. And Randy, your own background story, what brought you to this curious world?
It all started from one point, big point, the love of nature. So, أنا من شرطون, a village from Alay, and my family, نحن من زمان عنا beehives, and but it wasn't for business. وكل لبنان بتصور بيعرف النحل بس بيعرف for honey. So الحلو إنه في curiosity بالخبرية, and I wanted to شوف and to dig more. لي example بغير مطارح الابيكولتشر اللي بيستعملوا كميديسن, اللي بيستعملوا البيس كميديسن. so من هون بلشت وبلشت مع الكيوريوسيتي تطور انا مع عائلتي, بعدين انا لحالي, بعدين جبت ماي هايفز لحالي, بعدين صرت اعمل اكسبيرمنت علي على هدى وهيك بلشت.
The story of being in a way comfortable in nature, that's really the basis for why you chose to do something that revolves around nature. But the beekeeping community, that's a family tradition? That's something that goes back generations?
Yeah, even حتى all our families كلنا كنا from the nature, يعني 3/4 كان يشتغل بالvillages. So هلا when we all the community switch للمدينة خسرنا a lot of part of from our roots. So اللي صار انه صحتي بطلت منيحة ببيروت, مشاكل بشتغل behind the desk. So مش هي الحياة اللي بدي إياها, الحياة اللي بدي إياها هي from nature. I want to find الباشن اللي بدي اياها واللي كل اهلنا كان عندهم اياها. So رح نصب النيتشر.
Okay, so we'll get into beekeeping and really what it takes to be a beekeeper. But Hoda, you have an equal interest in nature. And I know this because we spoke earlier that you didn't have beekeeping as a hobby, but when you met, it was something that in a way interested you naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go there. What brought you to, not what brought you together necessarily, but what brought your interest to beekeeping and maybe your own sort of passion for nature?
Mm-hmm. So growing up, I grew up in Damour, by the way. So it's a very nice city by the coast. And the family business, my father specifically, he's a banana, we have banana plantations in Damour. After he went to his retirement, he's a full-time now, he's a full-time farmer, you can say. So I always loved nature. I was always surrounded by it growing up. Then for university, I have to move back to Beirut, so I was a bit detached. And what brought me back was COVID. So during COVID, I had, during lockdown, I spent most of my time in Damour. And the only escape I had was going to see what is my dad doing. Like I just went with him, started spending time in nature, and saw how beneficial it was for my mental health. So that was my bit of a childhood story, personal story with nature. And I was always curious about holistic ways of healing as well. I'm not into I always try to find natural supplements. I'm into sustainable branding as well. I worked in marketing before, so I was always rooting for sustainable brands, organic, natural. Randy came to me one day and said, try this thing, which was bee pollen.
Yeah, before going to the gym, so...
Yeah.
So you meet during Corona, you're both already in nature for your own separate reasons. And then you have this beekeeping hobby, but it's not a profession.
Yeah.
I want to get into something you did before meeting, which is Beekeepers Lebanon. That Instagram account that is in a way maybe community building around beekeepers in the country. I went to AUB. I discovered recently there's a professor at AUB, Rami Ale, I think that's his last name, who is a beekeeper and teaches it. It's a course at AUB. So what brought you to maybe the passion for being a community manager, at least online?
Yeah, so in Lebanon we have lack of information and lack of knowledge in beekeeping. من ورا مشاكل الكورسز، ما حدا عم بيعطي كورس beekeeping، ما حدا عم بيعطيه أهمية. بدك تاخد كورس beekeeper، يا بدك تفوت أيوبية، يا ما بعرف فين بدك تتعلمها من شي فارمر وما بيعطيك كل السيكريتس تبع البيكيبينج، لأنه كأنه شي ما حدا بيحكي عنه. بفترة الكوفيد العالم كله بلشت تقعد ببيتها وكله بده يرجع على النيتشر. قلت وعندي الكوميونيتي تبعي يعني كل رفقاتي بدهم بيحبوا النيتشر. قلت يلا ليتس نحمسهم. بلشنا beekeeping Lebanon.
Is it beekeepers or beekeeping Lebanon?
Beekeeping.
Sorry, beekeeping Lebanon. Okay.
Beekeepers? Beekeepers Lebanon.
I know the Instagram account that you run better than you. Beekeepers Lebanon. Okay. Yeah. So you're filling a void that other people are curious in the subject.
Yeah.
And AUB is the only place that teaches it academically in Lebanon?
Yes. So أنا تعلمتها from my family. So ما كنت عايز فوت على AUB، بس إنه وحتى أحكي مع عالم أخذوا الكورس بالAUB، أخذوا الكورس ويقولوا واو it was amazing وهيك، وخلص ينسوا الكورس وينسوا البيكيبينج يعني. So قلت انستا بيضلوا كل شيء موجود. عندنا 4 سيزن بلبنان، كل سيزن حط شو فيك تعمل مع النحل، وهيك بلشت. وبلشوا يجوا ريكوست انه كل واحد بده يبلش يعمل his own hive، بده يبلش من الصفر، وتوز يعني واو. قلت خلقت شيء كل عايزه، وهالقد العالم بتحب nature.
What exactly are the holistic benefits of pollen? Because I know beekeepers, that's not all they do. It's not that they're obsessing over pollen only.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a financial element there that's not maybe standard for the beekeeping community. You found something. But before we get into that, what are the benefits you find? Or you mentioned holistic benefits of pollen. And maybe I could ask you, Hoda.
Yeah. So Randy taught me this, and then I proceeded to do my own research as well. But bee pollen, basically, it has so many nutrients, countless vitamins as well. And when you consume it, it gives you energy. And on the daily, you know, it just boosts our motto, basically, by the way, is boost your day, because it literally does add this little boost to your day by enhancing your health, by completing all your nutrient deficiencies. Basically, it's one of the best superfoods in the world. Like in the US, in Spain, in Europe, it's widely known as a superfood. It's one of nature miracle food. We have one friend from Spain. We met him. He's a personal trainer in Kuwait, and he told us he swears by bee pollen. Like, he takes it first thing in the morning because it just. So there are so many. It's very well known.
What are the actual benefits? Is it that it's just an energy booster? Is that because if you're going to the gym, I assume that's why you're taking pollen. It's to get whatever energy.
Yeah.
So is that the most obvious benefit?
Yes, that's the most obvious one, but it just works. It's a slow process, you know, because it's natural. It's not like caffeine, like you have a up and then a down. No, it keeps you, you know, because it. So at some point when you consume bee pollen every day, you just have this very. You're completing all your, like, there are no more deficiencies. And when it comes to vitamin A, B, C, zinc, so you're just taking all these daily nutrients in one spoonful instead of, you know, taking so many pills. So day by day, you start noticing the change in your health. And it's actually good for your skin. It's good for digestion. It aids digestion. It's good for cognitive health. It really has countless benefits. Even people who are allergic to pollen, to nature, can consume bee pollen. And
die happy.
No, la. And then it prevents allergies as well.
You knew about those benefits before meeting. Obviously, you had a hint that pollen is something that's beneficial.
I know that bees are عندهم a lot of benefits, but who knows about them? ما حدا. So why not awareness؟ نبلش بawareness انه بدك تحمس العالم على البي كيبينج، بدك تفرجيهم البنفيتس.
Did you introduce Hoda to pollen?
Yeah.
Okay.
أول شخص.
You had something ready to share. I'd like to get into the actual process of what a beekeeper does to extract pollen.
Oh, wow.
And I know this requires probably a video. This is almost like a
I will try my best. No, it's easy.
Okay.
It's easy. نتخيلها كلنا سوا.
And I imagine you're wearing the suit.
Okay, before that, I will we will imagine a bee on a flower. So the bee flies وبتغط على flower and then تغطس بالوردة. So بتصير كلها pollen. بتصير كلها yellow. إذا بتشوفوا الصور بيكونوا bees كلهم yellow. So then بتطلع بتنظف حالها تعملون بول لتقدر تحملهم. So going back to the hive، هون نحنا بنكون بنصغر شوي الانترنس. ما بدي أكون عم خوف العالم، بس إنه it's هلا I will explain more يعني، لأنه ما بناخد لها أكلاتها نحنا كلها للبي. So البي pollen الكبيرة شوي بتسحط and at the end of the day نرجع بناخدها من تحت. لما بتسحط توقع لتحت نرجع نحن بناخدها. So هاد بنعملها بس على 3-4 days، لأنه أكتر من هول البيز بيعصبوا وبيفلوا.
And sorry, this is a seasonal thing where bees extract pollen, or is that?
هي mainly بالربيع.
Okay, so in the spring you're there and you're extracting pollen. Are there any other reasons you're doing that? Is that what a beekeeper does by default?
Yeah, مش للhuman consumption. هي نحن بنعملها هيدي لأنه بالشتوية عايزين بي بولن النحل لأنه ببطل يعني نيتشر ما بتعطينا بقى بي بولن. اللي بنعمله نحن بنخزنهم من الربيع وبالشتوية بنعملهم like we mix them like it's a
protein powder for the bees basically.
Exactly.
Oh, so it's beneficial for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing it for their own sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
بس هن فيهم يكونوا they will consume بنص الصيفية بحال اجا كتير شوب او بحال فات an animal او شي خبرية.
Their own food just like honey and basically all bee products are used by bees as well.
Right. Okay, so bees are benefiting from this and a beekeeper can obviously experiment, and you found on your, let's say, it's not something maybe you're pursuing, but that it's something I guess that came natural to you, and that pollen for you is not something strange. It's something that you're using for your own lifestyle, and you just by chance share it with Hoda.
Yeah.
Okay, that moment, which sounds a bit too romantic for me, yeah, a little too like Hollywood, but anyway, that's when you fall in love.
No.
No? Actually, it took much more time after that. Take the pollen and take me too.
This is literally what happened. Randy was like, try this. And I'm like, what is this?
And then kiss me.
just a new bee product.
أنا you know كل العالم بقى تشوف بي برودكت بتقول لك شو حيصير أنا رح تعقصني النحلة خي it's a bee pollen it's ماشي ما في نحلة ما في شيء.
But you immediately enjoyed the benefit.
Yeah.
It came natural to you.
Yeah, the first time, Randy chose the right timing. And the first time I was going to the gym, I was, low on energy, not feeling it. And I was kind of still new to working out because also Randy introduced me to this. So he said, try this before the gym and tell me how it goes. And he just gave me 1 spoonful of bee pollen. And I was like, what is this flowery powder? And I just went. And 3 hours later, Randy tells me, Shu, you're still there? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you gave me. What's this? But I was feeling it already.
That's a moment, I think, where two minds can come together and they can take what sounds like a health choice and make it into a financial gain. So let's go there. Pollen is not something that is a natural supplement here in Lebanon.
Yeah.
But beekeepers know about it. Maybe those that are particularly aware of all supplements and holistic items, maybe they're aware of it. I actually associate, it's funny, before we met, I associated pollen with the obvious, allergies. I didn't naturally think of the benefits.
Yeah.
So my immediate thought was, are you doing something that's unhealthy? But that it turns out, no. It's just a few people that are allergic to pollen. It's not a standard allergy. So the extracting is difficult in this country.
Yeah.
And the technology is difficult to access.
It costs.
And it costs money.
Yeah, it costs.
Now, you mentioned earlier that most pollen in this country, when it's sold, it's not necessarily Lebanese. It could be imported too.
Yeah.
So let's go there. You're importing pollen.
Yeah.
And is it, did I get the country right? Is Spain?
Spain, yeah.
Spain.
Yeah, أكبر exporter of...
Oh, so worldwide, Spain is the...
Yeah.
Okay. And you're importing Spanish pollen.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is specifically for a business plan, or do you do that anyway?
No, for our beehives, صراحة, for our family beehives, صراحة, we have our own consumption, so مش عايزين. But طلعت انه حكينا انا وهدى and we started انه شو بدنا نعمل
researching يعني the best provider the best quality. كمان لانه in Lebanon it was hard to get it tested so
يا كنا بنص ازمه
yeah.
بعدنا بالازمه اصلا.
And sorry, the testing is for certain standards in pollen?
Yes, for certain standards and for the nutrition facts because it's a supplement, so we wanted to provide credible nutrition facts for the people who would consume it. كمان لأنه Spain مثلا بلبنان as Randy said, no, not all beekeepers care about selling bee pollen, so ما في sustainable stock. إذا بدك, so to have a sustainable stock, we chose to get Spanish bee pollen.
And the reason it's expensive is because you have to dry it?
In Lebanon?
In general, is that
Yeah.
is the machine meant to just extract and dry it so that it's usable?
Exactly, and
Does the machine extract it or do beekeepers?
no, and كمان بدنا نركب شيء تحت البيهايف صارت ناخذ تقشوت البول ونرجع ناخذها. سو في بروسيس ومثل ما قلت لكم يعني هي 3-4 ايام لانه اكثر من هيك الكوين بتعصب بتفل. كوز ميل البي بولن بتستعملون الكوين لتتبيض. So
per season per hive you can only extract bee pollen 3 days, like few days per
1 week maximum.
Oh, and the queen abandons the hive.
يا ما حدا ما حبت بتفل شو.
Oh wow.
ترجع بتلقطها من شي تاني جبل يعني بتروح تنبش عليها بتلقطهم.
Well, that's interesting. So you're being extra cautious for the queen to be comfortable. This is also relationship advice, and maybe that's why it's working actually. By the way, I want to add something. Beekeepers, you mentioned this, are generally calm.
Yeah.
You're the example of Mr. Calm, right? I mean, you're extremely calm. You know, it's interesting. I would be so afraid of being next to a beehive. For the queen bee to get angry, I'd be running away. I'd be leaving the mountain. But it sounds like this is a natural thing for a beekeeper to kind of be in their element.
Yeah. There is a lot of criteria. بدك تاخدهم قبل ما تروح على البيهايف تبعك. أول شيء ممنوع الدخان، ممنوع الدخين. يعني اللي بيدخنوا
noise again? What is that a word?
perfume. حدا يرش
language.
حدا يرش بارفان كمان.
Yeah.
بلاها. So بدك تروح من very calm تفهموا يعني هن رح يستوعبوا هن بيرتاحوا أصلا. وبدك تستعمل كمان دخان لايك انه الدودة تدخن يعني بدك تستعمل اشياء اروماتيك لايك مثل الزعتر مثل انه اشياء هيك مهضومه وحلوه. سو بحبوا الريحه النظيفه البيز و سو هول بدك تاخذهم ان كونسيدراسيون قبل ما تفوت تفتح الهايف عليهم و
It teaches you to be calm يعني and this
yeah كله بيساعد.
Okay, so you're
plus sorry example إذا شي مرة فاتت بي من ورا فاتت على الصوت فاتت لجوا عقصتك أو من برا عقصتك انعقصت ما فيك تعمل شيء. ما إذا بدك تشيلها ما عندك 100,000 وحدة رح تيجي عليك. سو بتضلك كالم بتنعقص تقول معلش immune system بيقوى أكتر وبتكفي شغل. بتذكر وقت خبرتك عن
Yeah, so apparently Randy told me that bees can detect your weak spot even if you're wearing a suit and they come وبيعقصوك ب your weak spot.
Once,
just like women basically.
Is that what he said to you or is that what you said?
No, that's
that sounds like
that's a badumts.
Yeah, okay, that was icy. I don't know what to say. Just like women, that's true. This is a very good point. Beyond finding her weak spot, and, the process, the machinery, the equipment, it's expensive. You're importing Spanish pollen.
Yeah.
And very quickly, within, in a way, it's like weeks, you decide to sell it. And you decide to make Lebanese more aware of it.
Yeah.
So this is actually interesting for me. I think this is like you should be giving lectures in business, not in beekeeping, because you guys really took off fast. The idea to create a brand and to sell it during, well, actually, it's the beginning of your relationship, and it's at the end of Corona. So it's like
no, it's actually after.
After Corona.
Yeah, it's
right.
in 2022.
Okay. After the third wave of Corona, you're selling a product called Poppin Pollen.
Yeah.
So let's get into this. The idea to market pollen and whether or not it's succeeding the way you imagined it. So Hoda, you have digital marketing expertise. You're also a journalist too, but I don't think journalism is why you're doing this together.
No.
It's the marketing background.
Yes.
maybe journalism, there's a persuasion element. You know how to maybe share
But
a
it's
story.
also marketing, actually.
Yeah.
And I was remembering yesterday, I was talking to Randy and I was like, actually, throughout my marketing career, I was always choosing to work with sustainable brands. And I was working in Dubai. I was working with a hydroponics farm, for example, one of the first hydroponic farms in Dubai that were doing lettuce. I was working as well with fashion brands, but that were ethical, made to order. So I always wanted to open my own as well, sustainable brand. I didn't want to be, into fast fashion or fast sales, selling something random and like that's unhealthy for the planet and for us. So yeah, this experience and Randy's motivation as well, like this is what. And the good product, like the product sells itself.
Okay, so how do you do it? You just literally go from store to store saying, I want to sell pollen? Or is it something medical? Do you go to pharmacies?
Yeah, we went to pharmacies. So our clients in the pharmacies, gym. Like gym, by the way, انه بتصير نكتشف انه في audience للبي pollen. Gym في audience للبي pollen.
Yeah, some athletes, by the way, already knew it. And some gym owners, they were like, oh, bee pollen, we haven't found, good quality bee pollen in Lebanon or Lebanon. So,
so there was already enough knowledge about it when you're going from place to place.
Yeah, it was.
But in terms of selling it, how did you do that? I mean, are you literally saying I can produce this amount by this date? Because you're doing several things. You're importing Spanish pollen. You're also selling a product. And I've seen it online on the Poppin Pollen page. There is actually a product that you're selling. It's contained.
Yeah.
It's accessible. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's even a syrup extract version too.
Yeah.
So you're selling multiple items. How do you do it? Is this literally on your own at home?
Yeah. صراحة أول شيء we have the raw product.
Good branding as well.
Good branding.
This is also what pushed us, whenever we were showing our product to people, they were like, wow, like we've seen bee pollen before, but this is gorgeous.
صراحة tips number 1 هي good branding.
And having a product that's also special. يعني في كتير special products بس منهم branded well. So we had the combination of both.
Yeah.
The prices كمان بالنسبة للماركت كانوا very accessible. يعني at some point we were even cheaper than some Lebanese bee pollen brands.
Oh, there are Lebanese bee pollen brands on the market?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're making it cheaper?
Almost the same price for...
لا, cheaper. It was cheaper.
So how are you discovering this very quickly? I mean, is it that you're making it... is it that you have the advantage of importing?
الهوني برات لبنان حقه أرخص بكتير من هون. نحن ما بعرف بلبنان عايشين بنزيد دايما من تربي الحق السعر.
كمان البي pollen was sold by honey brands. So people they ما كان في most awareness على البولن انه كان يعني حتى نحن at first صرنا going to a honey place asking what's this like bee pollen. Yeah, just waiting for explanations. So people don't know how to explain it. People you eat it with honey, so they don't see it as something that's beneficial alone. وأصلاً benefits تبع البي pollen they are a bit similar to the benefits of honey, but they're also different. So
in other words, bigger brands can sell it at a higher rate, but you guys are a independent outfit.
Yeah.
So you're selling it at a rate that fits your criteria, and that happens to be a bit lower sometimes. So that's an advantage, actually.
Way lower حتى.
Yeah, right. And also because other brands are associating it to honey. نحن it's we're selling it as pollen alone because it has its own benefits alone. يعني
So does honey get sold in different ways too? Can you sell honey or in its raw form?
بنقول بيشهدوا like بعده بالإكزاغون تبعه. بالواكس تبعه أو عادة كليكويد.
A pollen has to be sold raw.
Yes.
Dried.
Okay.
تيضلوا السبلمنت تيضلوا النيوتريشن فاكس جوا intact أو بيروحوا يعني مع الوقت بيروحوا so لازم ننشفهم صح وهي هي المشكلة بلبنان لما فينا ننشفهم صح.
And you're selling it primarily raw. So let's say I decide to buy some of your product, am I adding it to things? Is it like I put it in tea or I put it on food? How do I consume pollen? Do I just take it straight?
Yeah, you can't take it straight. At first, I started taking a spoon every day, but then it was forced on me at the beginning.
لا
So I,
عمي you love it.
I'm joking. Yeah, so then we started looking into more fun ways to incorporate it in our diet. So, for example, a spoon with your morning coffee, it melts in it as long as the temperature is not too hot. لأنه hot temperature kill the benefits of
all honey product,
yeah.
all bee product.
So it has to be stored at a certain temperature.
Yes, and mixed. For example, when you want to mix it with tea, it has to be lukewarm water, but not too hot. So you can also use it as a topping for salads, for smoothies. And this is one of the part that Randy is very excited about, that we also mixed it with fruit juice, like during an event.
Yeah.
Ah.
So we had an event in the summer, and عم بقول انه event من summer ببيروت الكل راح يشوي بالعالم. It was in August يعني. So قلت انه I will go to the manager of this event. راح اقنعه انه حط our product like fresh juice, bee pollen juice, واقنعه انه العالم راح تاخد هيدا لانه it's refreshing, it's وبيعطي energy, so العالم راح تكون محمس اكتر, وانه it's better for the people drinking the product. So رحنا عملنا الميتينج and
Yes.
أخذنا أول deal.
When we worked with Tutti Frutti Brumana, they provided us with the juice that fits pollen. So it was like strawberry pollen juice and melon pollen juice. They were very special flavors, with the pollen in them really fit so well that people didn't notice إنه في bee pollen جواتهم, but they did feel the buzz. يعني people were coming to us during the event يقولوا لنا شو حاطين فيه يعني.
It was the second بعد الجين بازل بتذكر.
Yeah, it was the second biggest sale بالevent بعد الجين بازل.
That's non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yes, zero alcohol. But we can add, but I
Yeah,
know.
you can make a gin
Pollen Prosecco.
Yeah.
pollen prosecco.
Yes.
That sounds like
Yeah.
a great idea.
It is a very fancy drink, actually.
So it doesn't harm. Alcohol and pollen can mix. There's
Yes.
no issue there.
No, because
So-
it gives you energy. It's like honey.
So this is a very strange question. Before meeting you 2 weeks ago or so,
Yeah.
I had no idea, no knowledge that pollen and life can really go hand in hand. Do you think that is it a misunderstanding? Is there a lack of awareness? And why is it that the average person doesn't seek pollen? Is it that it's, maybe, not to use this in a bad way, but that maybe holistic has this association with, it's not serious, it's more theoretical? Not necessarily demeaning pollen here, but that word can be, maybe there's an emotion sometimes to that word.
Yeah. في إنه ما في awareness عنا بلبنان. Like you go to Spain.
Everyone knows about bee pollen.
كله بياخد.
Portugal. يعني we met some people there who were like, yeah, bee pollen, we take it every day with our whole family. يعني it is common. So in Lebanon, the thing is that awareness was more on honey. ولأنه we have more production of honey. So كمان it's, it's a bit of a cultural thing.
But honey, you don't usually think about honey and health. It's more honey and supplement for sugar. Or honey doesn't really come across as something I would take before going to the gym.
Yeah. Sadly.
Sorry?
Sadly.
Because it's good actually before the gym كمان honey.
Yeah.
But honey to me is more not unhealthy, but I would not think of it as an energy booster, for example. So why is it not naturally there in terms of regular discussions? People talk about vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc. You have all these types of, health pills that are all over the place. Pollen is not there.
هي القصة إنه when you go to إذا بتروح على الفارماسي, like we did a small we went على الفارماسي وتنشوف رياكسيون العالم بتفوت تشتري أدوية ليوم الأدوية, ضغط, ما بعرف شو يعني, بيظهروا مع أكياس. أوكي, تعال لهم خدوا شيء أورجانيك. وقف, شو هيدا؟
Organic is, I think, somewhere between drugs, pharmacy drugs, medicine, and holistic.
Yeah.
And I think of organic as kind of the bridge, But holistic, would you put it closer to organic? Because I think of holistic as sorry to say this, it's like meditation or zenitude. You know, I don't usually think of it as, oh, I'm going to take that to actually benefit my body. Is there a misunderstanding of the word?
فينا نقولها أكتر it's organic يعني إنه
Oh, okay.
organic.
So organic is
and what's good for your
pollen.
body is good for your mind and soul as well, you know. There's a correlation between. That's why I used the term. But نحنا, no, most of our branding is because it is it's organic.
Okay.
And people in Lebanon مثل ما قلنا إنه they tend يروحوا صوب أدوية. إن شاء الله كان تركي بيجيبوا لك، ما بعرف شو، أنا ما باخد أدوية بس أنا بيقولوا لك تركي بياخد تركي، ما بعرف شو يعني. خي وقف. هي المشكلة من our community يعني.
بس هلا among the youth we noticed نحنا as we were talking about bee pollen that there's more awareness and there's more willingness to try it, and people are seeing the effect. يعني people who tried bee pollen من عنا are coming back again and again and again لأنه they saw the change. It's a good sugar substitute. They're using it كمان for daily life. A friend of ours is using it for his little children and they're loving the bee pollen. Yeah.
Also, it's safe for kids. It's
and
not like
instead of take chocolate, take bee pollen.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, exactly. I would not. That's a great example. If I wanted to just binge on something, I'm not in a good mood, for example, I'd go to sugar and go to chocolate. I would never think about pollen.
Yeah, check your Instagram ads today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you guys sponsoring something today? I'll check. The bees in general, I think, I guess this is a worldwide issue. When they're on the news, it's usually that there's some harm towards bees and the population in general. I'm going to guess Lebanon has the same kind of experience. The bees are not safer here or worse off necessarily. They're going through that pattern. Do you find it difficult to rely on Lebanese pollen for that reason also? There's not enough, you can't produce it anyway?
نحن we started in November, so we started in winter. Now after the experience رح يصير 1 year.
Yeah, it's our 1 year anniversary sometime this week.
Oh, great.
So now we are planning to create a community of beekeepers that will start producing Lebanese bee pollen.
No, but the bee population on the planet is on the decline. Is it being? Do you find it harder? It's a generational thing for you.
I think
it's a family.
I think حتى human are declining.
No, humans are actually on the opposite. Yeah. No, but in other words, is it difficult anyway for Lebanon because the bee population is not that big, and it maybe is getting smaller by default?
Yeah, we have, because as a beekeeper we have a lot of مشاكل we are facing. من جارك بده يرش ما بقلك قبل بوقت. نحن قبل ما حدا بده يرش أو شي بيجي بيحكينا بنسكر عليهم أو بننقلهم، لكن رق شوي الهوا نضيف شوي الجو نرجع منفلتهم. ما في knowledge، ما في عالم بتحب ترش، عالم بتحب بدها production, a lot of production، ما بدها quality.
How do you handle that? Because I know it's impossible to prevent your neighbor from doing that. So what do you do? Do you try to make them more aware of what beekeeping is?
بتضيفوا جارف هوني بتقله تكون رفقة معه بتفسر له انه
So you have to befriend your neighbor يعني in this
بتكون calm وبتروح.
Do bees naturally leave areas that are being built up? So if you're in the mountains, for example, and I'm going to assume Chartouni, or where are you living at the moment?
Chartouni.
Yeah. Well, you are Randy Chartouni. That I'm going to guess it's being built up slowly. Is the bee population in your land going down as a result?
No, actually صرنا الكوميونيتي صارت عم تكبر شوي يعني because علي يشوف عندها يعني الكاركترستيك تبع المنطقة بيعقدوا like لبنان بيعقد عندك
for bees specifically.
for bees for كل شيء organic كل شيء nature. So الكوميونيتي عم تكبر.
The bee population is going up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because more people are interested, especially the youth مثل رندي.
Yeah. و
No, I meant the bees themselves. The number of bees is growing?
يا انه بيز عم بيكبر في وراهم بي كيبرز عم بيساعدهم ليكبروا ما رح
I see.
يكبروا
So you have to actually do that too.
Yeah.
You're helping the bees populate.
Mm.
Okay. You know, let me ask you actually, Randy, beyond pollen production, which is something newer maybe, what do beekeepers do normally? What is their routine?
عندك 4 seasons. عندك خلينا نبلش هو الأكتر شيء أكتر سيزن بتتعب هي السبرينج. سو بدك تبلش ظهر من شتوية عندك بدك تشوف شو بقالك لأنه أوقات ساعة تقتل مثل أنه بياكلوا العسل ببطل عندهم أنا ستوك عسل وبيفوت تعرف انه سقعت الدنيا الليزار بيفوت كل شيء حيوانات بجرب تفوت على الهايف لتتدفى لانه جوا احلى هوا انظف هوا جوا يعني على سلامتهم البيز. اللي بيصير انه بنعتبر عنا رح نبلش من 1 بي هايف. منبلش منشوف قوايا مش قوايا مثل ما قلت منبلش نحط نساعدهم نغذيهم بالبروتين. البروتين هو بي pollen.
So your work is also helping the bees stay alive. So it's not just I see. So in a way you're farming bees.
Yeah. So بتبلش اعتبر الشتوية بيكون عندك 5 كادر 5 كادر بدك توصل ل يعني تطلع تبير أول الربيع شهر شهرين لازم خلص الكوين تقوى ويصير عندها جيش. ليه؟ لبلش تجمع لما ببلش الموسم. إذا جمعت بتبلش تربح الهايف بتصير بتضاين أكتر.
كمان you move the hives من منطقة للتانية depending on the season so that's a lot of work كمان.
You actually physically move the hive.
بس بالربيع مش عايزينها هيدا.
بالربيع they don't need it because
بالربيع we focus لأنه بيكون نحن ديجا حاطينهم بمحل منيح.
How do you move a hive? Are you
عكتفاتك.
No, really, like is it are you locking the hive in something to move it?
هلا هي الهايف بيكون هيك ومن فوق هي الطبقة
It's a box.
It's a box, yeah, exactly.
So you're storing the hive in a way.
Yeah, so ما عندها هي
like beehives in they're a square box.
Yeah. But like literally how do you move it?
بتنطر بالليل بتسكر عليهم.
This is better than I imagined. You wait for them to sleep?
Yeah.
And then you kidnap them.
يعني خلص once راحت الشمس عندك يعني عندك فيك تعمل بدك يعني في بتسكر عليهم
Oh, so they actually go to sleep at night.
Yeah. بينام وكل شيء. في حدا ما بينام. كل بينام.
I never imagined bees sleeping at night. I don't know, but that makes sense. You never see them at night.
Yeah, do they cuddle?
Yeah. So الكوين كله بقرب عليها. So اللي بيصير لا ما هن كانوا females جوا في بس كم واحد male so
yeah all bee workers are females
right,
by the way
right but there's the females have to be there for obvious reasons to keep populating but so you store the hive in a safe place in the winter so that they don't die.
You move it to warmer areas.
Yeah, to warmer area.
Right, and at night it's safer to move a beehive. This is interesting. Okay.
بتسكر عليهم من قدام من المحل المفتوح إذا مشوار بعيد بنحط لهم محل مثل أنه فوق على التوب علت بنحط شبك تيفوت هوا.
And just one more question: has this ever gone wrong?
With you?
Have you ever been followed by a queen bee?
لا كوين بي ما بتقرب عليك مش عايزة بتعطي مساجات هن بيهجموا عليك. كوين بي إذا ماتت إذا عصتك ماتت بتموت الهايف كله أنه لا بيعملوا واحدة تانية بس أنا بتفضل الكوين بي ما يعني she gives order.
So have you ever been attacked by a hive?
Yeah. يدلي. دايما في 3/4 الأوقات في ربع الأوقات طبعا نخوف العالم ربع الأوقات في مثل ما قلنا إنه بيتذكروا weakest point تبعك. أنا weakest point هو my shoulder برجع هون مورم شوي but it's good for immunity guys.
No, I meant like the hive goes after you.
The whole hive.
The whole hive. Not actually.
That's how movies depict I think my fear of bees comes from the fear of sharks. Movies like Jaws, when you're a kid, you don't want to get close to a shark. And the sharks don't look that appealing anyway with those giant teeth. Maybe the movies make them look scarier than they are. My memory of movies about bees are equally frightening. They tend to be horror films of giant bees attacking people. But so they
a shark is a bite you راح يضلوا عايش. A bee if it stink you راح تموت.
The bee dies.
Yeah.
No, but I've also seen what I thought are real videos of hives chasing people.
No, ما في منها هيدا. هي بس كم وحدة بيكونوا ما هن they communicate so بيجمعوا بعض يعني شي واحدة 2 3 عرفت but إنه كل ما تلعب فيهم وتعذبهم أكتر كل ما they communicate أكتر وبيهجموا عليك but at first بيكونوا بي واحدة هي اللي بتجي عليك.
It could be that the whole hive could attack someone not you يعني the beekeeper.
No way يعني هيدا إذا بلشت تنبش على الكوين وبدك تقتلها وتخرب لهم كل شيء إيه. But
one more question.
If you are calm working.
Why is the queen bee the most important bee in the hive? What is the queen doing exactly? You said it's giving instructions.
Yes, هي القصة كلها.
Laying eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, the queen bee lays eggs, not the other female bees?
No.
I see.
Yeah.
She lays like 5,000 eggs per day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but بتعيش maximum 3 سنين.
The queen
so بدك تتخيل ب3 سنين أول سنة بتكون مش full potential. تاني سنة full potential. تالت سنة خد جريت. so اللي بتعمله تعطي بتخلص بتسلم لحدا تاني. so بتعلمك تسلم. so بتشوف.
Sorry, 5,000 per day?
Is it?
Yeah, فيها.
Yes.
ها تاني سنة بتعملها مش أول سنة.
So wait. 5,000 eggs in a hive?
Yeah, ما عندك البي.
How small are these eggs?
In high season. In high season البي عم تشتغل non stop. So ما بتعيش كتير. So عندك turnover كتير.
And the queen bee is not replaced immediately. It's not like if the queen dies, they get another female.
بلا بدهم شي 2 weeks maximum بيكونوا اجت queen تاني.
And the same hive cannot be used again. Like in other words, if the queen bee of the hive dies, can another flock of bees use that hive?
Yeah, the same flock هو رح يضلوا.
Oh, okay. it takes them 2 weeks to get
ورح يضلوا نفس
I see, right. So the hive stays.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how is a queen made, Randy? By feeding her?
Yeah, so by feeding her more of protein, more of bee pollen, more of gelée royale.
Royal jelly.
The bees are feeding her.
Yeah.
So الفرق بين النحلة والتانية بين الكوين عادي وغير females workers هي أنه the quantity of bee pollen وال quantity of gelée royale.
That's consumed at birth. يعني.
You know, so إذا أنت.
Sorry, which makes her more able to produce 5,000 eggs.
Yeah, which makes her grow into a queen.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's physically bigger.
Yeah.
So when they feed
Just with your hands, what is a queen bee? What's the size of a queen bee?
Like this.
Oh, so it's okay. It's still very small.
بس better.
Still bigger, no?
But you can't tell just by looking at bees which one's the queen.
Bala, of course, and it's better to check to see the queen إذا بركي في you know when ما فيك دايما تشتغل فيهم للبي بدك تتركهم يرتاحوا وما تغير لهم temperature تبع البي هايف تيكونوا مرتاحين. so once فتحت بدك تعمل كل شيء تهتم بكل شيء تشوف إذا عايزين شيء وتتأكد أنه كله موجود. so بتبلش تشيل كادر تنبش عليها. هي ميلي بتكون بتشوف وين المجمعين يعني في الكوين
Right.
بوطة
Yeah.
الشباب يعني وين مجمعين بتروح بتلاقيهم.
That's really interesting.
وهيك أحيانا تلاقيهم so once راحت هيك بيلحقوها هيك.
So you haven't, as a beekeeper, you're aware most of the time where the queen bee is.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
She's easy to find.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to Poppin Pollen, you're selling raw pollen, and I don't know if I remember this right. It was the drops called Propolis.
Yeah,
That's good memory, huh?
Propolis.
Propolis. So you're selling two versions, one liquid, one raw.
But the propolis is different. It's not
It's
pollen.
different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not pollen.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a bee product, but that's not pollen.
oh, I see. What is that? Bee saliva?
So propolis is bee glue.
Bee glue?
Yeah. So bees produce some kind of glue when someone attacks their hive. Like for example, when a lizard is in the hive, bees attack it and they put some glue on it so it mummifies. It sticks to the hive. It cannot move anymore and it just dies there.
Because they can't move the lizard outside the hive.
So they just stick it in or they kill it by it suffocates.
So hold on. What?
Yeah.
Humans take the glue that kills a lizard?
And if there's a hole, for example, in the beehive, bees
Yeah,
fix
but
it also
it's
with the
not how-
propolis.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
في
is this
special
like
في special technique.
kill Randy? Like what is yeah, exactly. Like how do humans benefit from this?
So propolis on the top of the hive we put like a شبك بيقطع شوية هوا so هن اوتوماتيكلي ببلشوا يسكروه. So بصير عندك آخر شيء الشبك كله propolis like solid propolis. So نحن بنعمله إنه بناخده بننشفه and then
بيصير هيك like a big like a stone كأنه هيك
بصير
سودا.
stone 100% and then بنعملها liquid نقلبها liquid.
By
وفي عالم
infusing it in
yeah, في
alcohol
عالم
or in a
بتاخدها
substance.
solid.
But what is the benefit here for human?
هي البنفيتس.
Yeah, صراحة benefits you put it in a dropper و you take it. It's good for coughing. It's good for cleansing the throat. أنا كأنه دواء سعالة
ونحن
basically.
بلبنان كله بدخن. أنا بكون قاعد عند الكوافير بيجي واحد بيسأل يا خيي بدك بروبوليس.
بيعطيه propolis. Actually we يعني عملنا live tasting للpropolis و people they start coughing دغري سعالة الدخان وبينتفض.
What is the coiffeur doing exactly? You just trim your hair with a mecha now, right? What is your coiffeur?
كله بيتجمع عند الكوافير.
Oh, you're actually, I see. So you're selling to the
Yeah, أهم
going to places where people cough. You've entered the cough market. So it can kill a lizard by locking the lizard, but it's not bad for the lizard per se. It's just glue.
No, yeah.
yeah.
And humans can take it and it benefits humans.
Yes.
yeah.
That's interesting.
بس تعرف فسر للعالم عالم تجي بتقلك إنه شو عم تعميني شو عم تعطيني إنه لا ما بدي I prefer to go to strepsils they go to take strepsils.
You know, psychologically, me too. I actually.
والسترepsils هي 3/4 شوجر وخمار وفليفرز.
But you know, it's interesting. You give me two choices. Strepsil Halls or Strepsil. Halls is really candy, but let's say something that's pharmacy friendly. Or Propolis.
شو بتاخد؟
Naturally, I go to the Strepsils.
But actually, in pharmacies now we're starting to find propolis extract. They're marketed really well. كمان أنا ما بعرف إذا بلبنان we saw it, but we saw it in Europe a lot. في propolis drops. You tell her I want something natural for my cough, and they give you propolis drops.
Oh, it's literally just small amount of extract.
Yes.
That reminds me of being in Europe where they don't sell medicine up front, that you need a prescription, and then they give you these other types of, I guess, holistic, organic, and psychologically, I don't take them seriously. So what can you do to, let's say I'm open to the idea,
Yeah.
but maybe most people are not open, or maybe they have that other option which is easier, right? How do you persuade them that this is something that they can use? Because social media is not enough.
Yeah.
Is this something that requires education? Do you have to enter the health sciences?
Yeah, we started.
AUB, does this professor need to talk about this?
قد ما عالم تحكي يعني Propolis صار له على الماركت من يعني جدودنا كانوا ياخذوا Propolis you know
But it's not something we think about.
yeah so اللي عم نعمله نحن انه we are educating and putting like small flyers بالshops like قدام our products so we can explain and العالم توثق فينا اكثر توثق بالبرودكت اكثر لانه literally ما عم نعمل شيء نحن بس عم ناخذهم من الطبيعة وعم عم نوصلهم للعالم مثل ما هن يعني so
yeah and it's also we يعني if we're trying to also إنه عم نقنع العالم by making them try it in person يعني whenever we have the chance we gave a beekeeping workshop in summer so قلنا لهم okay now here's a like tasting try it و people tried it and if يعني صاروا يحكوا some people هيك كنا بكامب و some people tried the Propolis و they were هيك they had their doubts about it and then دغري they saw the effect يعني the thing with bee pollen and Propolis for example is that you see the effect دغري يعني within hours
Yeah.
and you start coughing when you take Propolis you see like
I could use some Propolis.
yeah it feels cleaner so you just take it and the effect دغري ببين it's about putting it in the right place يعني هلا we're placing our pollen and our Propolis in pharmacies it's selling out.
Actually, that's perfect way. I had one more question about that process, the business model, and maybe where you see most people curious. Do you find that it's mostly the gym community, or is it the organic, holistic community? I can imagine this selling in both pharmacies and gyms, but for you,
Lebanese love to go to pharmacy. يعني مثل السوبر ماركت حتى بكل شارع بتلاقي فارماسي بدك اللي عملناه انه حطينا بالفارماسيز وحطينا بالجيم وحطينا بالسوبر ماركت وحطينا بأورجانيك شوبس but البيك sales point هو الفارماسي يعني.
But that sounds like an advantage for you because you're actually then targeting the audience you want to reach, the ones that are looking for medicine but they don't naturally choose pollen or propolis. But numbers, the pharmacies are experiencing the highest sales. One more question, going to the future. Let's say Poppin Pollen is permanent. And you want to build this brand further. What other ideas do you have in store? I know when we first sat down, you mentioned that it could be used for tea.
Yeah.
That I would use. I would actually turn to that. I'm open-minded to tea more than beeswax or bees glue. You know, I would think of tea first. Somebody amateur like me. Is that something you're interested in? I mean, what is the next stage?
Yeah, so mixing bee pollen with tea. At first, we should.
We worked on it, and actually we have our own recipe. We have I don't know if I can say this. We have a morning recipe and a night. So we're working on very interesting products. The thing is that next thing in the near future that we're gonna do is make more time for it, because we're working on it alone right now. So working on tea. Also, Randy's main mission was a mission of awareness, basically, and spreading knowledge, helping out the beekeepers community in Lebanon. So Kamena, we want to see how to do it, and we are actually doing it by collecting, working with beekeepers here to we opened a subsection of Poppin Pollen, which is Lebanese bee pollen now as well, because some people want local, and we also wanted to empower the local community, and our brand is trustworthy enough, so we're going to trustworthy sources to get the good bee pollen, Lebanese
we are
bee
working on our mission. صراحة عم تركب يعني هذا الحلو فيه. But other than tea, we have.
Could you call it Lena Bees?
Lena Bees.
No, sorry. Lebanese Lena Bees.
Lena Bees pollen. Oh, nice. كل شيء بحق.
So let me say, to wrap it up, there's a few things that I was thinking about when we first met and the last 2 weeks. I think this kind of idea can only come about when two individuals like yourselves meet. In other words, everything lines up. you're a digital marketer. You have social media under your belt. You have journalism. You have exposure to what it looks like to try to sell something. You have the passion for awareness. You're managing a beekeeping page on Instagram, Beekeepers Lebanon. And this is not for financial gain, it's passion. So you have awareness, pursuit, you have a marketing edge. Both of you have a passion for nature too, which is unusual. I think most people that I know don't have a passion for nature. They have a passion for staying on their phones or working endless hours. I fall into this trap too. I don't take advantage of nature enough in this country. And also, I think, which is quite important, you decide to pair up as a couple beforehand so you get to know each other too. And then everything works afterwards.
Yeah.
Everything seems to line up just right when two people like you meet.
Well, but it wasn't easy. I know we faced a lot of difficulties, like I know time from business and time for our relationship. So it wasn't easy.
ونحن at first كمان as you mentioned أنه we used to do a lot of things in nature. يعني he works at the office. I was spending all of my time on my cell phone يعني working on my laptop. I work from home, so we both needed this escape, and we ended up doing weekend plans كانوا a hike in nature, going biking. So all our plans together as a couple before starting Poppin Pollen involved nature, and this is where we felt like most at peace.
I also forgot to mention, Randy, you're a financial controller?
Yeah.
So you work in the oil and gas sector?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you also have...
Yeah, I have my job. So
Yeah. So that's also equally important that you're busy. Both of you are busy.
Yeah.
And then you make time for yourselves and you make time to create a brand together. This couldn't happen separately. It has to happen when two people meet.
Yeah, it wasn't easy at all.
To manage. Even now, it's not easy to manage with our schedules.
Yeah.
But we're still يعني هلا we're incorporating pollen in the corporate world. We're working on corporate gifts فيهم honey and pollen, so we are doing it businessy شوي. بس yeah.
Well, I'll say something that's maybe politically incorrect among the beekeeping community. To the queen bee and the king bee, both Randy Chartouni, Hoda Rizk, thank you for joining MTV.
Thank you so much for this chance.
Thank you, Ronnie.